Chris Jackson, the class president. And we'll have something new this year. Andrea Cook will have a slide presentation of approximately 80 slides that will be given. And we'll have a little hard time describing that because we can't see that. But it'll be on the videotape that we will be doing this afternoon. The benediction by Veronica Hunter, and the recessional again by the concert band. As you have heard in the background, the PHHS concert band has now started the pomp and circumstance as these 1989 graduates make their way into this gymnasium.
And of course they're led always by the class president. This year, of course, Chris Jackson leading in for the class of '89. So he makes his way in.
Those people that will be wearing white pendants this afternoon are National Honor Society members, and the graduates wearing gold braids are National Beta Club members. You might want to go over the class officers.
Okay. Once again, the class officers are, the president is, of course, Chris Jackson, the vice president is Veronica Hunter, the secretary is Emiko Hatcher, and the treasurer is Stacy Hosier. And the steering committee consists of Leanne Conway, Andrea Cook, Dan Jackie, Amy Johnson, Gail Washlegger, and Kai Wentz. And the class sponsors, of course, were Vivian Atkins and Chris Bellises.
Class flower this year was the pink rose. The class motto for this 1989 graduating class was learn the past, live the present, and be the future.
As the rows are slowly now filling up, as we have 4 rows getting close to being filled.
The men in their traditional dark forest green robes, the ladies in their white, depicting the class or the school colors of this night of Pendleton Heights High School. Forest green and white.
I might mention, of course, that this is the 20th commencement for Pendleton Heights as they make their way in. Soon to put themselves into history for Pendleton.
It doesn't seem like 20 years ago that Pendleton Heights opened its doors in the fall of 1969 for their graduating class, and opening their doors and had their first class come in that fall. 20 years have passed since then. This class marks the 20th commencement exercise we've had here at Pendleton Heights.
I mentioned the South Madison Community School Corporation Administration is, of course, Charles Mock is the superintendent. Dr. Donald Yeoman is the assistant superintendent. James Coyle is the director of curriculum. The school board consists of president is Ned Craig. Vice President is Albert Stewart. Secretary is Merle Stoll. The school attorney is Charles Goss. And other members consist of Harper Eversole, Sue Lineberry, Mark Matlock, and Paul Wilson.
Just about filled up the rows now here at Pendleton Heights as the last remaining few people of this graduating class. 256 of them will be graduating today. Make their way in to fill up the last few rows here on the north end of the gym floor. Very pretty sight. One row of green for the boys and then alternating white for the girls. Every other row as they make their 256 seats filled here in the gymnasium. We'll be ready in just a few minutes for the invocation by Senior Stacy Hosier. Listening to Pendleton Heights Arabian's Voice Radio here in southern Madison County. This is WEEM Pendleton. Quite a crowd here today. We're just about full, as always. Just a very few remaining seats up in the far corners of the gymnasium here. See a lot of people with their own video cameras, videotaping their sons or daughters or grandsons, granddaughters, whatever the case may be. as graduation. Now here comes the school board, led by the class sponsors Vivian Adkins and Chris Bellisis, followed by Mr. Crosley, Mr. Craig, Mr. Stoller, Superintendent Mock, Principal Mr. Lawrence Skinner, Mr. Custer, Mr. Coyle, Assistant Superintendent Dr. Yeoman, Board Member Mark Matlock, Board Member Arthur Eversole, Board Member Paul Wilson, Board Member Albert Stewart, and Board Member Sue Lineberry. As they make their way to their seats up here just to the right of the stage at the north end of the gymnasium.
And every one of them, of course, has a boutonniere or a corsage for Sue with a pink rose in it.
Now the invocation by Senior Stacy Hosier.
Would everyone please bow their head for the invocation? Dear Lord, bless this group of students who are gathered here today for one of the most important days of their lives. Please be with each of us as we begin planning our futures. We pray that you will guide us as we go our separate ways so that our tomorrows may be as successful and memorable as our yesterdays. Allow us to give all of ourselves so that we can set our goals high and turn our dreams into realities. We can only get out of life as much as we put into it. Most importantly, Lord, thank you for allowing us to share a very important part of our lives together. The memories and friendships that we have attained throughout these years are not only special to us, but they will last a lifetime. Amen.
That was Stacy Hosier with the invocation. Now Ned Craig, board president, will introduce the classes of 1939 from both Markleville High School and Pendleton High School.
I'd like to welcome everybody here this afternoon. It's my pleasure to introduce to everybody here the 50-year graduates of the Markleville High School and Pendleton High School. If you would, I'd like for you to stand when your name's called. Annis Bagley Gunn. Joseph Best. Dorcas Borum Stauber. Roy Earl Creason. Robert Guston. Mary Alice Hartzell Keisker. Anna Lewis Hayes Norris. Elmer Heath. Bruce Heidi. Ann Higginbotham Stewart. Virginia Hooper Richwine. Novella June Judd Beck. Mary Alice Mitchell Reynolds. James Morgan. Carl Mundell. Mary Alice McCarty Stover. Evelyn Neal Hyman. James Norris. Milford Norris. Alois Rose Jarrett. Eloise. Benjamin Robinson. Mary Sanders Granison. Betty Jean Scott McCarty. Don Sneidman. Eunice Sneidman. Marvin Stoller. June Wetzel. Edith Willis Miller. Thank you. Phyllis Bear Bradley. Rebecca Barrett Anderson. James Bradley. Wilma Burbank Tracy. Earl Bryant. Leora Chappell Carson. Phyllis Clark Jarvis. Jean Collins Tucker. Phyllis Cornwell Peterson. Helen Cox Cummins. Earl Davis. Marguerite Day Moore. Bernice Dickey Wiggs. Mary Ann Doty Melton, Francis Faust Flowers, Ralph Goff, Dorothy Hannah Wilson, Lawrence Harless, Lauren Harper Hepfer, Bill Helms, Vincent Hepfer, Virginia Hoppus Riggs, Louise Eifert Briley, Evelyn Jarrett Schallenberger, Jason Jordan, James Kiesling, James Keppert, James Loddick, Martha Loddick Davis, Marcel Loffer Wolfgang, John Longest, Harold Manifold, Mary Martin Sisson, Albert Michael, Doris Michaels Lucas, Robert Miller, Margaret Props Davis, Marjorie Props Pulsel, Jack Rosser, Norma Scott Seal, Bill Seal Manifold, Willis Sisson, Robert Smith, Edith Stevenson Helms, Lueva Stoner Hagemar, Molly Wildman Stanley, and Lillian Zion. Thank you.
The 50-year graduates of Markleville High School and Pendleton High School. Now Mr. Crosley will introduce the salutatorian for this year.
The salutatorian for the class of 1989 plans to attend Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology. The student was inactive as a 3-year member of Student Council and for 3 years on his class steering committee. He worked as an active member of Beta Club, Pep Club, and German Club. He is a member of National Honor Society and German National Honor Society. This young man also participated in freshman basketball and is a member of the varsity baseball team. I give you salutatorian of the class of 1989 with a 10.940 grade point average, Barry Moffett.
Barry Moffett, 10.940 grade average, will now have his address as a salutatorian to the class of 1989.
Growing up, I spent a great deal of time with my grandfather. One summer day, at the age of 7, I remember helping him pour 2 cement foundations in a large cemetery. He finished a smaller foundation first, and then he began work on the second. The second foundation was slightly larger, approximately 6 feet by 3 feet in dimension, and 2 feet in depth. After the work had been completed on the latter structure, my grandfather left to check on the smaller foundation poured earlier that day. Before he left, however, he instructed me to keep watch over the smaller foundation. When he was a safe distance away, I knew it was time to put my skills to work. Since I spent so much time with him, I'd acquired what I thought was a sufficient amount of knowledge in cement structures to begin work on my own. With my finger, I etched my name in the soft concrete, praised my work, and then trod it or smoothed it out the best that I could. My confidence grew along with my work. Next, I scratched in "I love Dixie" or whoever it was at that work, and then trod it out until it almost looked as good as its original appearance. My imagination then wandered to a certain Coyote Roadrunner cartoon, in which the coyote constructed the cement trap to capture the Roadrunner. The Roadrunner ran so fast, though, that the cement split apart and he went on unscathed. Likewise, with confidence, I stepped back 10 to 15 feet from the foundation, tied up my zips, and took off on a dead sprint towards the cement. Seconds later, when I arrived at the freshly poured concrete, I had just enough weight to sink slowly until I was almost waist deep in cement. I was trapped. Because of the hot, humid weather, the cement had set to a point in which I could not move. All I could do was stand there and cry until my grandfather returned. 10 minutes later, upon his arrival, the cement was still too soft to break. As a result, I stood there for 20 more minutes until the cement could be broken and my freedom granted. It took me another 11 years to figure out that in reality I was very lucky. You see, the pathway our life will take is being set right now. We are constructing our own lifelong foundation. It would be futile for me to challenge you to the future or to tell you to set high goals for yourselves. For these things originate within your own being, deep within your soul. I cannot alter or influence these things. However, I can warn you of the point in our lives that we currently face. This time period is the foundation for the rest of our lives. What we choose to do now will affect our success, enjoyment, and fulfillment throughout our existence in this world. I was fortunate when I was trapped in the cement because my mistake was easily remedied. However, a misjudgment in our lives now could have lifelong effects. Please think over your desires and goals now. Lace up your shoes tight and make sure they're truly what you want before they're set in stone. Congratulations to you, my fellow classmates, and may you enjoy success and all that you endeavor. Thank you very much.
Very nice address by Barry Moffett, the salutatorian for 1989, to his fellow classmates. Now we shall have Vivian Adkins and Chris Bellisis, the class sponsors, in the recognition of major awards.
At this time, we would like to recognize seniors who have earned scholarships and special awards. We'll ask the seniors to stand as we read the award, and we'd ask you to please hold your applause until we have finished. The Association of American University Women's Scholarship, Heather Shelton. Alpha Delta Kappa Scholarship, Jan Phillips. American Legion Post 117, Gail Washliger. Brian Walker Memorial Scholarship, Darren Branch. Century and a Half Scholarship, Sean Flanagan and Mike Cates. Crime Stoppers Association Award, Doug Edge. DAR Good Citizen, Emmy Hatcher. Ernest E. Miller Educational Scholarship, Jan Phillips. Gordon Boughton Memorial Nursing Scholarship, Heather Shelton. Health Profession Scholarship, Travis Bunnell. Hobbs Memorial Scholarship, Renee Clark, Doug Edge, Amy Foster, Chris Gardner, Gary Jocelyn, Scott Oldham. Kappa 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 Sorority Scholarships, Dion Goodwin, Dan Jackie. Kiwanis Citizen Award, Citizenship Award in the name of Joe Branducci, Heather Jablonski. Kiwanis Scholarships, Jeffrey Moore, Sean Flanagan, Kimberly Gaskell. Lioness Club of Pendleton Scholarship, Jennifer Morgan, Misty Robbins. Lions Club of Pendleton Scholarship, Gina Smith, Jason Childers. Lions Club of Pendleton Vocational Scholarship, Shalane Neely. Lions Club Sportsmanship Trophies, Emmy Hatcher, Tom Cox. Mothers Against Drunk Driving Award, Heather Jablonski. Madison County Junior Achievement, Andrea Cook. Madison County Junior Miss Award to Amy Foster, Krista Davis. Dr. McLaughlin Memorial Scholarship to Melinda Doty. Optimist Club of Pendleton Scholarships, Shalane Neely, Neil Smith. Pendleton Circuit Breakers, Andrea Cook, Christopher Jackson. Pendleton Swim Club, Laura Hinkle, Troy Lewis. Pepsi Larry Bird Scholarship, Shalane Neely. Randy Steele Memorial Scholarship, Heather Jablonski. Raymond and Ann Bulin Scholarship Trust, Amy Delp. R.W. Pat Clinton Memorial Scholarship, Tracy Moran. Sigma Phi Gamma Scholarship, Dion Goodwin. FFA Scholarships, Doug Edge, Mark Boyer, Tim McPherson, Neil Smith, Ryan Morris.
Athletic blanket winner, Michael O'Brandel. Arabian Booster Club Scholarship, Emmy Hatcher. Red Haven nominee, Emmy Hatcher. Apex Academy of Hair Design Incorporated, Neely Ruth. Blackhawk East College Scholarship, Doug Edge, Ryan Morris, and Mark Boyer. Doane College Scholarship, Andrea Irwin. Grand Rapids Baptist College, Renee Clark. Hanover Academic Merit Scholarship, Nadine Guston. Indiana State Sycamore Scholarship, Jennifer Haney. Indiana University Merit Scholarship, Jason Childers. Joseph Swain Scholarship, Stacy Hosier. Indiana University Madison County Alumni, Dion Goodwin. Manchester College Merit Award, Cindy Ross and Robert Moore. Marion College Scholarship, Amy Delp. Northwestern University Air Force ROTC Scholarship, Emmy Hatcher. Purdue University Certificates of Recognition, Toyzanne Albrights, Brian Connor, Danielle Jackie, Christy Mott, Heather Shelton, and Neil Smith. Purdue University Nursing Freshman Scholar, Heather Shelton and Christy Mott. Purdue University School of Ag Award of Excellence, Neil Smith. Rose Holman Honors Scholarship, Barry Moffitt. State Livestock Judging Championship Team, Ryan Morris and Mark Boyer. State Horse Judging Championship Team member, Mark Boyer. Hoosier Scholars, Heather Jablonski and Barry Moffitt. National Merit Commended Scholars, Jason Childers, Amy Delp, Emmy Hatcher, and Dan Jackie. Citizenship Awards and Huntsville Community Church Scholarship, Heather Jablonski and Doug Edge. Our valedictorian is Emmy Hatcher. Our salutatorian is Barry Moffitt. Let's applaud them for their fine achievements.
The major award winners for 1989 were just given by the class sponsors Vivian Adkins and Chris Bellises. Now we will have a solo by Angie Mays, Forever in My Mind. Vivian Adkins, class sponsor, is the accompanist.
And I'd like to say that this song was composed by Angie Mays and Heidi Spiegel along with Mrs. Atkins.
Forever
beautiful song. Now the introduction by Mr. Crosley of the valedictorian for 1989.
The individual who has earned the top scholar position of the graduating class of 1989 has shown extreme versatility in her mix of academics and extracurricular activities. This individual has been active and not just a member in Beta Club as president, Pep Club as secretary, Varsity Club secretary-treasurer, German Club and German National Honor Society, as well as Science Club and National Honor Society. She is also class secretary. In addition to all her work in the classroom, where she accumulated a grade point average of 11.149, and her active participation in the various organizations mentioned above, the student found time to participate in athletics as a member of the track and softball teams. She also served as a cheerleader all 4 years. Northwestern University is the college of this individual. It is my pleasure to announce the valedictorian for the class of 1989, Emiko Lynn Hatcher.
Marks the end of 12 years of learning and growing for each of us. In a few minutes, we will receive our diplomas. We will no longer be high school students, we'll be high school graduates. Our diplomas will not list the classes we took, the grades we received, or the awards we won. Perhaps that's because our diplomas mark a beginning and not an ending. You could say that they are a license for a lifetime of learning and growing. And we all leave here today with equal hope and equal promise. So far, we have been traveling the same course. But today, each of us will choose his own course for the rest of the journey. The education and experience we have received so far will help us to find our roles in a large and complex world. In some way, each of us must contribute to the success of tomorrow. We do not necessarily have to invent things, make laws, or cure diseases to be considered successful. Instead, it is more important that we realize our responsibilities as citizens of this world, of our country, and as members of our communities, our churches, our families, and in our respective chosen fields of careers. Our education has helped us become aware of the challenges that our generation will and must face. It has also given us some ideas about how we can meet those challenges. Just as important, it has given us the foundation upon which we can build our happiness and our successes, no matter how you define those terms. Before we leave today, I think I speak for all the class of 1989 when I say we owe a thank you to our teachers, our school administrators, our parents, and our coaches. They have invested a lot of time in preparing us for this day, and they have placed in us their hope and their trust for the future. I'm sure that the class of 1989 will not disappoint them. Thank you.
The valedictorian address by Emiko Hatcher for 1989. Now the certification of class of 1989 by Lauren Skinner, the principal, followed by the acceptance by Mr. Mock, the superintendent.
It is my pleasure as principal of Pendleton Heights High School to be able to certify that this class of 1989 are candidates for high school graduation. To Mr. Charles Mock, Superintendent of Schools, and to the South Madison Board of School Trustees, I hereby certify that these candidates have met or will meet both the state of Indiana requirements and the South Madison School Corporation requirements for the high school diploma.
Mr. Charles Mock now Superintendent of South Madison Community School Corporation will accept for the class of 89.
Class of 39, graduating class of 89, and friends. Before I accept this class for graduation, let me take this opportunity to congratulate the class of 1939 on their 50th anniversary. Many members of this distinguished group are personal friends of mine. It is people like these 50-year grads that mean so much to our community. Men and women like Phyllis Jarvis, Francis Flowers, Roy Creason, Mary V. Grandison, Margaret Davis, Ruth Manifold, Lueva Hagemeyer, my good neighbor Marvin Stoller, and one of my best critics and supporters, Bob Guston, have helped me and this community lay the firm foundation that South Madison Community Schools is built on. But a special mention to one grad. I think I would be remiss if I didn't pay special attention to Mr. Joe Best. Joe gave me the opportunity to serve the South Madison community. On June 20th, some 32 years ago, he climbed down off his tractor, walked to the house, and signed my first contract in South Madison. By the way, he was planting corn that year, and 57 was about as wet as 89. So I thank Joe sincerely. To the class of 89, I challenge the class of 89 to contribute as much to our community as the members of the class of 39. If you do, you and your children will be proud to call South Madison their home. Thanks again to the class of 1939 for taking this time out to spend with us. At this time, it is my privilege as a representative of the South Madison School Board and all the patrons of our school district to accept the class of 1989 as graduates. Good luck, and may God be with you as you continue down life's exciting trail. Thank you.
Now the class roll, as the presentation of diplomas by Mr. Mock and Mr. Skinner will be given. Class roll will be read by the class sponsors, Mrs. Vivian Adkins and Miss Chris Bellises.
Excuse me. Christopher Daniel Jackson. Jason Scott Alexander. Please hold your applause until the names are read. Trent Allen Altair. Gregory Philip Ammerman. Eric Dustin Barraclough. Michael Wayne Black. Bradley Tyrone Blaylock. Mark Anthony Boyer. Darren Lee Branch. Michael Leo Brinker. Kenneth Allen Bronnenberg. Lance Douglas Brown. Robert Eugene Brown. Jason Edward Bruce. Michael William David Brummett. Todd Allen Brunson. Thomas Dale Bryant II in absentia. Travis Brent Bunnell, Academic Honors Diploma. Michael E. Casto. Devin Scott Castor. Joseph Michael Cates. Christopher Roland Campbell. Kurt David Caldwell. Theodore Chase Cheatham. Jason Clifford Childers, Academic Honors Diploma. Spencer Curtis Click.
Toyzanne K. Albrights. Melissa Dawn Allender. Kara Lee Baker. Wendy Ellen Borden. Michaela Deanne Brandel. Deborah Ann Brinker. Sherry Lynn Brumbach. Monica Paige Burmeister. Kelly Sue Busson. Tarania Renee Castile. Stephanie Jane Cheney. Angela Marie Carpenter. Melissa Michelle Clark Snyder. Renee Elaine Clark. Kimberly Jill Clendenin. Kimberly Ann Clifton. Christy Sue Cloud. Leanne Marie Conway. Andrea Lee Cook. Emma Louise Cook. Courtney Lynn Cooter. Jennifer Lee Cox. Amber Renee Davis. Jeanette Lee Davis. Krista Lynn Davis.
Matthew Sean Coates. Scott David Cochran. Brian William Connor. Wesley David Cooper. Thomas Raymond Cox. Bruce Edward Craig. David Alexander Cry. Gregory David DeLong. Craig Allen Ebert in absentia. Douglas Edward Edge. Aaron Bradley Edwards. David Charles Eichelman. Daniel Earl Fessler. Landis Stephen Fessler. Henry Dwight Friend II. Christopher Lee Gardner. William Joe Gibson. Stephen Dale Gert. Terry Dean Goodwin. Matthew Courtney Hazley. Toby Hamilton. Scott Allen Hamelman. Todd Allen Hare. James Derek Harvey. Brett David Hawkins. Timothy Michael Haney.
Connie Sue DeHority. Amy Sue Delp. Christine Renee Dodson. Melinda K. Doty, Academic Honors Diploma. Andrea Margaret Irwin. Jackie Lynn Fall. Holly Sue Fannin. Robin Marie Ferris. Letitia Marie Fisher. Sean Michelle Flanagan. Heather Lee Flowers. Amy Louise Foster. Cynthia Ann Fowler. Kimberly Dawn Gaskell. Carmen Suzanne Glaze. Dion Renee Goodwin. Brenda Lou Gauker. Nadine Dow Guston. Jennifer Michelle Haney. Celeste Marie Hardman. Karen Ann Haskett. Emiko Lynn Hatcher. Jennifer Darlene Heath. Karen Marie Hedge.
Sean Michael Hendricks. Jeffrey Stephen Hexamer. Danny Ray Holland, Jr. Mark Allen Hollingsworth. John Paul Hoover. Jason Howard Hubbard. Jason Glenn Hudson. Gary Dean Huffman. Michael Arthur Hall. Joey Lee Hutzler. Daniel Lee Jackie, Jr. Kenneth Philip Johnson. Randall Eric Johnson. William Lewis Johnson. Gary Wayne Joslin. Christopher Morris Cohen in absentia. James David Kincaid. Cristobal Tomas King in absentia. Sean Adam King. Spencer Reed Kinley. Brenton Lamont Kosmicki. Wayne Edward Lacey. Brent Allen Troy Lane. Troy Dean Lewis. Donnell Gentry Matheny. Kenneth Allen McDowell. Jeffrey Kent McElwain.
Sherry Lynn Hennis. Anne Marie Hillen. Laura Diane Hinkle. Stacy Ray Hosier. Cindy Lynn Huey. Veronica Sue Hunter. Heather Noel Jablonski, Academic Honors Diploma.
See if I can get this right.
Stacy Michelle James. Amy Lynn Jessup. Elizabeth Johnson, Academic Honors Diploma. Angela Michelle Jones. Lisa Marie Jones. Hannah Renee Kiesling. Dawn Ann Kelly. Vicki Lynn Kelly. Katrina Marie Katowski. Krista Renee Lawler. Diane Carol Lepper. Paula Ann Matherly. Angela Grace Mays. Tracy Darlene Jeanette Moran. Jennifer Ray Morgan. Christy Lee Mott, Academic Honors Diploma. Shalane Marie Neely. Rebecca Lynn Newland.
Timothy Joseph McPherson. Barry Stephen Moffett. Corey Andrew Moore. Jeffrey Allen Moore. Michael Layton Moore. Robert Bly Moore. Brian David Morris. Darren Ames Morton. John Christopher Noose. Gregory Scott Oldham. William Allen Overland. Charles Joseph Peters. Christopher Dale Petrie. Mark James Pettigrew. Mark Allen Filbert. Stephen Allen Powell. Randy Michael Pyland. David Eugene Reddick. Jason Dean Richardson. Todd Anthony Riggs. Ernest Eugene Renard. Carrie Austin Robertson. Michael Wayne Robertson. Derek Lane Robinson. Matthew Carl Rout.
Trisha Lynn Owens. Kelly Renee Painter. Kelly Sue Paul. Melinda Catherine Paul. Patricia Edith Pettit. Corinne Lee Petty. Jan Michelle Phillips. Amy Nicole Prenat. Carol Ellen Rhodes.